This is for Heather Driver's persuasive speech. Hi, today I am going to speak to you about good hygiene, hand hygiene for kids. So right now all we're talking about is the coronavirus, which is formally known as COVID-19. And with this, there's a really big push to promote how and when everyone should be washing their hands. And it's really important for kids to know what they need to do and also why they need to do it. And children have overall been a vulnerable population that's known to quickly spread germs, and most of this is because they have a lack of experience with hygiene. So I need to make sure that my kids know how to protect themselves, especially because both parents are going out sometimes either for work or to get essential items during the stay-at-home order. I am a credible source for this because I have researched the topic thoroughly through the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which is actually much more commonly known as the CDC. This is the governmental body that is working to control and prevent the spread of diseases. The central idea that I will share today is that you need to understand why, as a kid, you need to take ownership of your own health and maintain good hand hygiene now and for the rest of your lives. So now that you know why it's important for me to share this with you, let me begin with my first main point. Kids might not know when or what the best method is to wash their hands. The CDC says, quote, "Keeping hands clean is one of the most important steps we can take to avoid getting sick and spreading germs to others." This comes from their 2018 article, "Show Me the Science, Why Wash Your Hands." Germs can get onto your hands whenever you touch a surface that has been contaminated by someone who has coughed or sneezed on it. And you can further spread it when you touch your face or by not washing your hands. Washing your hands with soap and clean water removes the germs from your hands according to that same article, "Show Me the Science." So now that you know why you need to wash your hands, let me move on to my second main point, which is that adults might not have trained kids well and might not remind them of when they should be doing hand washing. In the same Show Me the Science article, the CDC lists, quote, "An estimated global rate of hand washing after using the toilet is only 19%, which is terrifying. So please always wash your hands after you use the bathroom. Feces has a lot of germs on it that gets people sick. And kids also need to be reminded when they need to wash their hands. For example, you need to wash your hands after using the bathroom, like we mentioned, before eating, after touching pets. Now this one, I was like, oh, I am not washing my hands after I touch our pet. So this is something that I need to work to do better myself too. Another times you need to wash your hands is after you've played outside and after coughing, sneezing, or blowing your nose. And if you keep doing this, it will turn into a habit for life. And this information came from the CDC's 2019 article, "Hand Washing, a Family Habit." So now you know when you're supposed to be washing your hands. I'm going to move on to my third main point, which is the benefit of good hand hygiene is to try to prevent germs and viruses from getting us sick, especially COVID-19. COVID-19 is on everyone's mind right now, and it's really important for all of us to know how to properly wash our hands to prevent the disease. The CDC says that we need to be washing our hands often for at least 20 seconds. And we especially need to do this if we've been in public, blown our nose, sneezed, or coughed. And if hand washing is not an available option, we should be using hand sanitizer that's at least 60% alcohol. This information came from the CDC's 2020 article, "Prevention of the Coronavirus Disease 2019, COVID-19." So now that you know why washing your hands is so important for you to do, I'm going to turn to my final point, which is to explain how and when to properly wash your hands. The CDC shares 5 steps with us to wash our hands in their 2019 article, When and How to Wash Your Hands, and we're going to go over those now. So for step 1, you're going to wet your hands with clean running water. It's actually okay if it's warm or cold water, which I was also surprised that cold was okay. And then you're going to turn off the tap and apply soap to your hands. For your second step, you're going to lather your hands by rubbing them together with soap. Lather the backs of your hands, between your fingers, and in your nails. Then you're going to be scrubbing your hands for at least 20 seconds. And if you need help counting that out, you can hum the happy birthday song from beginning to end twice. For step 4, you rinse your hands well under clean running water. And for step 5, you dry your hands with a clean towel, or you can also air dry them. So as we mentioned before, sometimes you don't have soap and you're supposed to use hand sanitizer. And the CDC also tells us the proper way to use that. You'll want to put a small amount on your hands, and you just look at the back of the label to figure out how much you should use. And then you want to rub your hands together and rub it all over your hands until it completely dries, and that takes about 20 seconds. And here I just have the source listed. So basically, you just need to remember to wash your hands after going to the bathroom, before eating, and any time that they get dirty. So now that you know how to correctly wash your hands, we're going to review what we've gone over. The central idea I shared today was why, as a kid, you need to take ownership of your own health by having good hand hygiene today and in the future. You also know when you wash your hands, you need to wash them when they're dirty, but especially after you use the bathroom and before you eat. And you also know the correct way to wash your hands according to the CDC. I know times are very uncertain right now, and they feel kind of scary, and that makes you feel out of control. But one thing you can do to be in control is to wash your hands properly. So to my kids, I love you both, and I want you to stay safe, so that's why I'm sharing this information with you today. And if there are other kids out there, I'm sure your family agrees too. Thank you, and stay safe.